and we're going to talk about the coordinate plane. So we were talking about positive and negatives and horizontal and vertical number lines. So you're going to take notes in your journal as we go along. You may have to pause the video to write down the sentences. So if you need to, go ahead and pause it right now. Okay, so coordinate planes. A plane formed by the intersection of the x-axis, horizontal, and the y-axis, vertical. So I believe that I showed you this before, but the x-axis is horizontal like a sunset. Pretend like you're watching a football game and the ref says the play is no good. They make an X with their arms and their arms will go out to the side. So a horizontal line is the x-axis and the vertical axis is the y-axis. And this little point right here in the middle is considered 0. It's called the origin. So you might need to pause it again, copy down the little diagram that I showed you. Okay, so I'm going to erase this and we're going to keep going. Okay, so you need to have the word quadrants. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, make sure you title your table of contents and title your new page coordinate plane. So this would be a subheading, quadrants. Quad means 4. So this is a coordinate plane right here. Our coordinate plane has the y-axis going from left to right, and our x-axis going from left to right, and our y-axis going up and down. So you see where they intersect right here? That is considered our origin. So I want you to write down, you may need to pause the video again, the 4 regions on the coordinate plane formed by the x and y axis. So there are 4 areas. Our coordinates are always x, y. So right here it says x, y. Coordinates are always parentheses, x, y, close parentheses. And we're going to do some examples so that it makes more sense. But quadrant 1 is in the upper right. Quadrant 2 is in the upper left. Quadrant 3 is in the lower left. And quadrant 4 is in the lower right. You can see the diagram it shows you. It makes a C, okay? The quadrants make a C around the coordinate plane. So if you ever forget, make a C around your paper and you'll be able to tell which quadrant is which. Now, quadrant 1, it says is positive, positive. You need to write all of this down. So it might be a good idea just to go ahead and pause the video, write it down, and then listen to me explain it. So pause it right now. Okay, so quadrant 1 is positive, positive. This means that I need to go to the right positive along the y-axis, and I also need to go up positive along the y-axis, okay? The only way I can be inside of quadrant 1 is if I go positive, positive. So positive 1, positive 2. This would put my coordinate. I would go over to the right 1, and I would go up 2. Therefore, my point would be at positive 1, positive 2. Okay? The only way to be in quadrant 2 is to have negative positive. Therefore, I have to go to the left negative 2 and up 1. Okay, so over negative 2, up 1. And am I inside quadrant 2? Yes, I am. So I had to go to the left this time and up. Does that make sense? I have to run along the x-axis before I jump. Okay, think about running before you jump. I have to run to the left or right before I jump up. I have to run to the left before I jump up. Okay, now quadrant 3. I have to go negative, negative. So does that mean I'm going to the left or to the right? I'm going to go to the left. So I could go to the left 5. But I also have to go up or down. If I'm negative, I have to go down. So I could go to negative 3. So am I inside of quadrant 3? Yes, I am. So that means my ordered pair is negative 5. I'm sorry, I forgot 5. Negative 3. Okay, the only way I can be inside of quadrant 3 is to have both of the signs be negative. Okay, Now, for quadrant 4, I have to be positive negative. That means that I have to go to the right 5, and if I go up, I'm going to be in quadrant 1. That means I have to go down into the negative. I could go down to -2 over here. So I'm going to go down a -2. Okay, so that means my ordered pair is +5, -2. It may be hard to remember which are supposed to be positive, which are supposed to be negative. But if you think about it logically and you know that you have to run before you jump, then you will know that the first number is going to be on the x-axis and the second number is going to be on the y-axis. And if I go positive on the x-axis, I'm going to the right. If I'm going negative on the x-axis, I'm going to go to the left. If I want to go positive on the y-axis, I'm going to go up. And if I want to go negative on the y-axis, I'm going to go down. Okay? So this will become easier the more that we practice, but it will take you some studying to be able to understand this, okay? So here we go, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. I'm going to make up some numbers and plot them, okay? I'm going to do one of each example, and then you're going to try 2 of each example, okay? So quadrant 1, all right? I could put that I know to be in quadrant 1, which is right here, quadrant 1, I have to go to the right positive. So let's just do +3. So I'm going to go over to +3, but I'm not in quadrant 1 yet. I have to go up to quadrant 1. So I'm going to go +3, +2, and plot my point right here. Okay, so now I could write my ordered pair as 3, 2. Okay, so I'm going to put +3, comma, +2. Okay, so pause the video and try 2 and 3. Okay, and when I get back to school, then we can do some examples together and make sure we understand. But go ahead and try to make up 2 more examples of ordered pairs that are in quadrant 1. Okay, if you do need more time, just pause the video. All right, quadrant 2. Remember, I'm making a C. This is quadrant 2 over here. The only way for me to be in quadrant 2 is to go to the left into the negative and to go up into the positive. So let's say I want to go -4, +1. Therefore, for quadrant 2, my ordered pair would be -4, +1. Okay, pause the video again, try 2 more examples for quadrant 2. If you need more help, look back at your notes that you just took with the positive and negative signs. So now I'm still making a C, so this down here is going to be quadrant 3. The only way that my dot can be in quadrant 3 is if I go to the left negative and down into the negative. So I'm going to go -1, so -1, and I'm going to go -2. Okay, am I inside of quadrant 3? Absolutely. So my ordered pair is going to be -1, -2. Notice that my first ordered pair right here, my first number in my ordered pair is -1. I'm putting the number that I go over on the x-axis first. Remember, ordered pairs are x, comma, y, okay? So I went on the x-axis, -1, and I went down the y-axis right here, -2. That's why they're in this particular order, okay? So try 2 more examples. All right, last one, quadrant 4. Let's see here. Quadrant 4, I'm still making my C all the way around, and this is going to be 4, okay? So I'm going to go, the only way I can be in quadrant 4, remember we go along the x-axis first, okay? Always, always, always along the x-axis. I have to run on a flat surface before I can jump, or I have to step into the elevator before I can go up and down, okay? So I'm going to go +3, and the only way to be in quadrant 4 is to go down. So I'm going to go +3, -4. Okay, I know that's not exact. I'm trying to my best here on this computer. So that's going to be +3, comma, -4. Okay, try 2 more examples. If you need to, go ahead and hit pause. Now, moving on. Coordinate planes. So, here are 8 coordinates, and you're just going to tell me which quadrant they're in. You are to, on your sheet of paper, when I come back to school, I will be checking this, and this will count as part of your notebook check, okay? So, here are 8. I need you to tell me which quadrant they're in. I will do a couple of them with you, and then the rest are up for you to do as practice, okay? So, the first one is 2, 4. Remember, I have to run 2 before I can jump 4. Where did I end up? I ended up in quadrant 1. So we use Roman numerals when we talk about quadrants. So I'm going to put Q1 just because it's hard for me to write on this computer, okay? And number 2, -5, 1. All right, I'm going to run -5, and I am going to jump +1. Therefore, I am in quadrant 2. So Roman numerals would be 2. Okay? I need you to complete the last 6 for me. And when you are finished with this practice, let me double check to see. I think that's it. Yep. Okay. So when you're finished with these practice, you need to pause the video and work these out. And once you're done, you are going to go on iReady, okay? So once again, you're going to complete this activity, finish the practice. When you're done with your practice, you are going to go on iReady, okay? Take your notebooks. When you're finished, go ahead and stack them in the middle of the tables, okay? Please do not leave a mess for the next class to come, and please do not leave a mess for the sub to have to clean up. She is not going to clean up after you, okay? So I will see you on Wednesday, and please work hard, okay? So I hope you'll have a great day, and I'll see y'all Wednesday.